Okay, many people have been asking me about cost of living in Thailand, and I'm going to tell you not where I am right now, but where I used to come, because I used to come for training camps here. As soon as it got cold in Spain, I would fly across to Chiang Mai, land in Bangkok, 1 hour flight up to Chiang Mai. I'll tell you about the flight costs from Europe, where I was flying from Spain, or from London Heathrow. I'll tell you about the cost of living in terms of apartment, really easy studio apartment in Chiang Mai, access to the mountains, access to the trails, access to great roads, races, race costs, motorbike rental, which there's not so many cars here, you don't really rent a car, but motorbike rental and how I kind of make that cost effective over the time that I've been here. I've been coming to Chiang Mai, which is where I am right now. I've been coming to Chiang Mai for about 10 years, and I first came in 2009, did cycle touring here, found Chiang Mai, found that it was a mecca for cycling. So I've always been based in Granada in the south of Spain. I'm obviously from Manchester, but based in Granada for sporting reasons. So when I wanted to become a professional runner, I moved to Granada because that was conducive of me becoming a professional runner and being in a great environment to train. When it got cold, usually end of October, start of November, I'd fly over to Bangkok and then up to Chiang Mai, which is where I am now, and just literally swap the forest mountains in the Sierra Nevada mountains in the south of Spain for jungle mountains in the north of Thailand. So from where I am right now, right over the back is Doi Sotep, which is a mountain that goes up to Doi Pui. So you've got Doi Sotep at about 1,200 meters, I think it is, and then 1,800 meters up to Doi Pui. It's 18 kilometers. It's incredible. The city level is 300 meters, so you're up a little bit, so it's a little bit cooler at night. You're in the mountains, so it's cooler at night, cooler in the morning. It's about 30 to 35 degrees at the moment. It will get a bit hotter, towards 40 degrees Celsius. But yeah, as soon as it got cold in Granada, I would literally just hop on a foot. Literally, if it looked for the next 10 days, the weather forecast looked rubbish, and it was cold in the mornings. It's a little bit more difficult to kind of plan your runs, etc. Just get on Skyscanner, look for a cheap flight, and then fly to Bangkok. And it would be Madrid to Dubai, Dubai to Bangkok, and that would be an easy flight for me with Emirates. Flight cost was around about that time. It was around about $500. Flight prices over last year have gone through the roof, so still not crazy. You'd probably get that for $800 return. If I was to fly from Heathrow, if I was in the UK for whatever reason, sometimes I would go and visit family and then fly from London Heathrow or fly from Manchester. You could take a direct flight from London Heathrow to, this is not a travel channel, but a direct flight from London Heathrow to Bangkok and then up to Chiang Mai. Now that would cost you around about the same. It'd be a quicker flight because you wouldn't need to go by the Middle East. It'd be about 12.5-hour flight. A 12.5-hour flight is a long flight. Sometimes it's nice to break it up. And I've obviously just come from Dubai, which is a 6-hour flight, 5.5-hour, 6-hour flight from Dubai to Bangkok, and then an hour up to, and it's a bit more difficult because I'm traveling with my cat, but and so you need to use certain airlines. There's a lot of documentation in terms of export permits, import permits, transit permits, all that kind of nonsense. But then I would come here to Chiang Mai and be in a studio apartment that was literally my base camp. And that would cost $250 a month, not more than $250, like about 8,000 baht, which is at the moment about $230. If I was really short term, it would be 10,000 baht to 12,000 baht, so not a great deal more. We're talking pennies, like in terms of view, in terms of location, right on the foot of the university, which was great for my easy runs. Lake access, so an easy circuit there, and then another lake just a few kilometers down, and a national stadium. There's 5 running tracks in Chiang Mai. There's plenty of groups, there's lots of running. Running has taken off here in the last 15 years. So you've got Chiang Mai Marathon, Chiang Mai University Marathon, plenty of half marathons, plenty of 10Ks, and with that comes a massive surge in the people that are out there running. So you feel like you're safe on the bicycle, you feel like you're safe out there running, you feel like there's lots of people that are in the same headspace of you. They want to eat healthily, live for sporting lifestyles. There's a lot of people out there in the morning, super early in the morning, 5, 6, 7 o'clock before work. And yeah, it's a great environment to be in. With that comes the demand for great restaurants. You've got a lot of vegan restaurants here, which are great. Just going back to cost of living, so that would be my apartment. It's obviously a lot more expensive where I am right now, but in terms of motorbike, so you want to get around on a motorbike. I've always liked being on a racy motorbike, so I'll try and enter a video here where we were just out kind of discovering elephants yesterday, and it never gets boring, like going seeing elephants. It's always fantastic, like we can get to see elephants. There's a couple of babies yesterday and it was great. But being out on a great motorbike, just for me, it's like in Dubai. I like racing around in my car, not like a nutter, but it's a fun feeling. For me, a car is not transport, it's more like a game. And so I've always really liked motorbikes here. So instead of you can rent a scooter here for about 2,500 baht, which is probably $60, $70, $80 a month. Or you can buy a motorbike for $2,000-3,000 and keep that over the years, which is what I did. There's a little bit of mechanics that go into it, and you need to kind of maybe have it recharged and stuff like that when you come back. But you can make that work and have a really good motorbike for the cost of your monthly rentals for maybe 12 months. You can have that cost, or 12, 24 months, whatever. And if you're here for 4 or 5 months, for me, it's always made sense to have a nice bike that I like being on, and you feel a bit more safer when you've got a bigger bike, and it's a lot more comfortable when you're going longer distances. So those are your main costs: your apartment cost, the flight costs, and then your motorbike costs or your scooter costs. In terms of cost of food, the cost of going to the supermarket is, for me, about the same as it is in Spain. If anything, it's more expensive here to find the foods that you want. So my staple diet is bananas, banana smoothies all day long, porridge. I have porridge every single day, just about to have it. And that'll be 100 grams. And that'll take care of like the vast majority of my calories. And then I'll go out in the evening, and I'll go out most nights, like 4 out of 7 nights, I'll go out and eat a really good, healthy Thai food, Italian food. There's like fusion mixes of Italian Thai food. There's a place called Anchan that I go to. There's Injan, a vegan food where you can eat for literally $2, and it will give you a big portion of vegan food. There's good souls in the center of Chiang Mai. There's 2 different locations, both are fantastic, and you can go and eat for maybe $5 to $8 per person, and you're gonna get a great, if you wanna eat cheap for $3, $4, you can find it. For $5, you get a fantastic meal that's been really well taken care of, really well prepared. You got my friend's Food for Thought, and he's also got Ozark. We were there the other night, and again, fantastic food, probably like the top end of the budget here. And this is how crazy it is. The top end of the budget is going to be $15 for 2 people, $15 to $20 for 2 people. I don't drink, so I've never had to, incur those costs. But even when you look at a beer, it's not expensive to buy a beer. I think a beer is like $2, $3. If you want a fancy beer, like a craft beer or whatever, $3, $4. So anything imported, like anywhere else in the world, is more expensive. It's really expensive to buy a branded car here, like a Mercedes, a BMW, a Porsche, or anything like that. You're gonna pay 1.6 times or 2 times the amount of the value. So if you want things that Thai people don't buy, it's gonna cost you a lot more. If you wanna live like a Thai person, but have those like nice little creature of Western comforts, you can quite easily do that and get by. Like water, not expensive at all to get clean bottled water. You can't drink from the tap, but it's going to be an expense. But you just need to think about these things, think sensibly. As a runner, as somebody who had the base camp, and the base camp was less than $250, and then they got a motorbike and they go into different races here. If you enter a race, it's 500 baht or 1,000 baht, so $25 or $12.50 to enter a race, and the vibe is amazing because everyone's excited. It's a party environment. People are not nervous like they would usually be in the West. It's a party environment, and that gets you into a really nice vibe. It's a really nice community feel here for the running. If you go out on the bike and you're spending all day out on the bike, you're doing 3, 4, 5 hours on the bike, you need to take probably 500 baht and probably 1,000 baht. As my friend John always tells me, just in case you have a crazy accident, or just in case you need to get a taxi all the way back and it's a far distance away. But with 200 to 300 baht, you probably got enough for all the calories. The 7-Elevens are everywhere. You've got little stores where you can pick up coconut water. Coconut syrup is amazing. There's loads of calories in that, and it's fantastic, really super healthy. So yeah, it's just a great place to come, and you can come and live cheap. There is people here that are living super cheap and living, in dirty places and stuff like that. And maybe it's not bad, maybe it's not dirty, but there's people who try and live in 3, 4, 5,000 baht per month places. If you just spend a little bit more, my philosophy is always that on that bottom level, everyone wants to be, or all the backpackers want to be. If you spend a little bit more, 20%, 30%, 40% extra, you're going to get a really comfortable level where you can be happy, and you're in that frame of mind where I was always in. Here is my base camp, where you're in it, you're living it, and you're all about the training, eat and sleep it. That's all you're doing. If that's all you're doing, you need a studio apartment with a nice view next to Chiang Mai University, next to the mountain. You've got access to the mountain, access to the gyms, access to the running tracks. You don't need anything more, and all your rest days are on the bike. Do 3, 4, 5 hours on the bike. It's fantastic. So couldn't think of a more perfect place to come and do training. It's beautiful. Look at this, blue skies. It's a cloudy day today, believe it or not. I mean, this is as cloudy as it gets at this time of the year. But yeah, if you have any questions about Chiang Mai, if you're thinking about it in terms of a place to come and train, ask me, because I love this place. It's my second favorite place in the world. Probably number 1 is Granada, and number 3